From the station that made country music famous, 650 AM WSM, this is a Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast. Hi, it's Charlie Mattos, and in this episode we sit down with Dusty Slay. This was recorded January the 22nd of 2020. Dusty's featured in the brand new Circle series called Stand Up Nashville. He's performed many times at the Grand Ole Opry, and he would make us laugh. There's no doubt about that. Enjoy our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast with Dusty Slay.
Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Dusty Slay, 8:30. Dusty in studio with us straight ahead. But first, we got to hear from the people at 737-9650 or 877-8784-650. Robert, where are you?
I'm in Clover, South Carolina.
Oh, it sounds like a bucolic, picturesque place to be. Clover, South Carolina, yes.
I caught y'all's program about 3 weeks ago. I started getting Circle TV, and I watch it every morning from 8 to 11.
Oh.
And your stock portfolio has gone absolutely through the roof since then.
Thank you, and y'all keep up the good work.
You bet.
Hi. I just wanted to call y'all and tell y'all what a good job y'all doing and how much we appreciate y'all. We watched on Circle, and we live in Franklin County, Virginia.
Oh.
The mother of presidents. Virginia, the mother of presidents.
True.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's been the talk of the town around here, the Circle Network. It just came on. It's been the talk of the town.
Well, it's not the first time we've been the talk of the town, ma'am. But thank you. We're going to take it that you mean that in the best possible way.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that first guy from South Carolina would be the man you'd see on the front row of a Dusty Slay show.
Yeah, I think so. Or the coach of LSU.
Ed Ogeron quality.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And using a fake identity and posing he's living in South Carolina.
Very nice.
That's very good, the association. So you were just telling Joe off the air, you were saying, I don't know what day it is, what time it is. I am assuming I'm in Nashville because I'm at WSM Radio on the Opry.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I wake up at 7:30. I'm wide awake. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take on the day. Other days, I can't do it. I can't get up. And today was one of those days, and I was rushing to get here, and then I was on time. The gate was broken back there, and then I realized I had my own parking place out front. So I don't know what's going on. It's so cold. I get a bunch of coffee. I get a coat on, and then my heat kicks in the car, and then I'm sweating.
Do you? I hate that.
Speaking of cold, you realize you booked Syracuse for like 5 shows in the middle of winter, right?
Yeah, I'm in Syracuse yet. I go there tomorrow, and then next week I'm in Seattle, Washington. So I'm like, yeah. I mean, I just say yes. People say, do you want to come here? And I go, yes, I do.
Do you wake up funny?
I don't know. I think so sometimes. I think I'm funniest in the morning sometimes.
And you're married to a comedian.
I am.
Comedian.
Yeah, she's been doing less comedy lately. But, she really, once things really picked up for me, she was like, well, I don't need to travel this much then. So she's been taking it easy, and that's okay with me. I mean, I like it because we don't travel well together anyway. We almost broke up when we were traveling together.
What was the issue?
Well, it's that,
many?
You're in the car for the entire trip together, then you're in a hotel room together, then you're doing shows together, and if one of us has a bad show, there's no way to escape the other.
So your line, we're having a good time, you really weren't having a good time.
Well, sometimes no, but I think we're having a good time came along a bit later after that.
Well, the Opry loves you. The Opry audience embraces you. They just want to say, hey, he can ride home with us. I love that guy.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, I have such a great time there. I've done 10 times at the Opry now. Yeah, I got a mug that has 10 on it.
Is that what we give?
Yeah, it's a nice mug. It's a good mug.
Former General Manager Pete Fisher was right. We celebrate very special occasions with inexpensive gifts.
Oh. It's a great mug. So good I won't even use it. You know, when you get something that's so good, you're like, I can't mess this up. If I use this, I'll mess it up.
Yeah. You are in Syracuse at the Funny Bone Comedy Club and Restaurant, and then you're back home and playing the 29th here in Nashville at Zany's.
Yeah,
which
next
would be
week.
Your hometown venue, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good show. We've been we sold out the last one, so get some tickets while they're hot.
Anything significant about your first solo stand-up routine, where it took place? What were the circumstances that led you there? What you were doing prior to deciding, hey, I'm going to do this tonight?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's been so many firsts because I quit a couple of times. So, you come back and then now that's the first. And but, the first time that I say is my real first time, it just went great. Everything lined up. The jokes hit well. And I went home. I was just in bed and felt good. And I was like, I want to do this again. And then it's been going since then.
And when was that? Where did you play?
That was 2008, a club called Theater 99 in Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
It's that feeling. I mean, you don't get that feeling all the time, but it's like, like the first time I did the Opry, I had the feeling. The first time I did the Tonight Show, I had the feeling. And it's like, it's just a real buzz. It's almost like a high that you can't really explain otherwise.
One of the things in your comedy, previous job that you have had before doing full-time comedy.
Well, I had so many of those, too, but I used to sell pesticides. I was a pesticide salesman for a long time. I sold to Lowe's and Home Depot, and people would come in there and they would ask weird questions. They'd be like, I'm looking for something organic. I'd like to kill the insects but not harm the environment. I'm like, well, how about a shoe,
Amazing.
Everybody wants to be eco-friendly now, but I think they're doing it as an excuse. Like hotels will say, don't put your towels on the floor, hang them up so we don't wash them every day. And I've been doing that forever. I've been known to use a towel for a long time. And people told me I was gross.
Yeah, at what point did that become not?
I've been saving the planet the whole time.
There is a point.
I always say echo for. I think it's eco. I don't know if I say echo or eco.
I took it.
I say echo too.
Echo.
We had stormy weather last weekend, and my son is fascinated by storms, and now he understands like radar. He's 6, and there were tornado warnings, and I thought, well, who we need to call? We need to call our friend Dusty Slay because he knows all about tornado warnings.
Oh yeah. I mean tornado. I mean that's. I grew up in a trailer park, and so tornado. When they come, it's like. It's freak out time, because any storm can be bad. We had an ice storm in the trailer we lived in. It froze a limb and it fell and it stabbed through the roof of our trailer, collapsed a shelf of some ceramic owls that we had, which I feel like is the most trailer park thing to have a shelf of ceramic owls. We had each as my mom and 2 sisters. I had dogs. I had ceramic dogs. My sister had owls. My mom had bells. My other sister had rabbits. We had I think secretly they were all my mom's collection.
There's also the trailer park dress code that you talk about. There's the casual and then the formal T-shirt.
Oh, well, yeah. I sell a couple of shirts. I have a NASCAR shirt that would be the casual. I have it, and then we have formal, which is a wolf T-shirt, which is, you put a lot of wolves on there, put a little moon on there, give that wolf something to howl at. But a tornado, in the trailer park, if you don't have a place to go, they tell you to go outside and lay down in the ditch. That's what's funny to me. It's like, that's the plan, huh? Like, we don't know what to tell you. Just go out there. Yeah, we know it's raining. We had a tornado warning here in December one time, and that was the thing. It's like, it's cold out there. We might not get hit by the tornado, but we'll get sick. Who knows what's laying down in that ditch out there?
And the other great piece of advice, go to your neighbor's house.
Go to your neighbor.
Well, that helps a lot, right?
Right, because it's either a neighbor that lives in a trailer, or if you happen to live next to a house, they're not just like, come on in, check out all this stuff we have in here.
Look at our ceramic collection. That's Dusty Slay. Now you know why we love it like we do. In Syracuse, your good fortune. He's coming to see you midwinter here, and then back home for Zanies here in Nashville, off to Seattle after that. And right now on Coffee, Country, and Cody, WSM Radio and Circle Television.
I've been to Margaritaville a few times.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're the king of the ad-lib, Alan Jackson. With a guy who's never written anything down unless it was a song that sold millions, Jimmy Buffett. You heard him on 650 AM WSM doing a song that really has confused our special guest and frequent visitor to the Grand Ole Opry, funny man Dusty Slay, with It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love this song. But, he says, that at 5 o'clock somewhere, it justifies drinking any time of the day, right? But it only works for drinking. You can't show up late for work and be like, hey, 9 o'clock somewhere. You know what I mean? And we were talking about time. I don't know why we keep track of time the way we do sometimes. Like the other day, I asked this guy, I was like, hey, man, what time is it? He was like, it's 20 to 4. I was like, listen, if you don't know, just say you don't know. And don't give me some kind of weird math problem just because I'm not wearing a watch. Some people don't even complete it. They go 20 till. As if I have any idea what time it is. Like my next question is going to be, what day is it? But he says in the chorus, it's only 12:30, which is 12:30, just to be clear. He says, it's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? But that's not true. You know what I mean? It may be 5:30 somewhere. We don't lose a half hour just because you change time zones. But, if you listen to this song one time, you think, this is a hardworking guy. He works outside, gets paid hourly, boss pretty rough on him. When he gets off work, he just wants a drink. That's relatable. But if you listen several times, like I have, you start to realize this guy's an alcoholic. He's creating a lot of his own problems. His boss seems like a pretty cool guy, and honestly, he's got a lot of flexibility in his job.
But you've experienced some of your humor comes from previous jobs you had and bosses and attitudes.
Oh yeah, I get it. That's why I know this guy so well. I used to drink a lot, and I'd be hungover, and my boss would be upsetting me. But looking back, I'm like, this is probably all my fault. All my job problems were probably I think sometimes if I were to go back and do my old job, how much better I would be at that now. But I'm not. I'm glad I'm not doing it.
One of the things that's confused you, I know, is the giving of notice when you are no longer going to remain at that job.
Oh, yeah. I love a 2-week notice. People who've never really quit a job with a 2-week notice, I don't think understand. But it's a great time. That's where I get to say my favorite phrase at work, which is, I don't care, I'm about to quit.
I'm about to quit.
It's so fun. I like to talk to people I've never talked to at work and go, hey, I'm about to quit, right? They get so happy. They're like, oh, what are you going to do? Because everybody wants to quit. They're like, oh, what are you about to do? I don't know. Not work here. That's all I know right now. I've had enough. I turned in that notice. I got 2 good weeks.
And we've talked a lot about life on the road with you, where you've also picked up a lot of your humor, staying in hotels and motels.
Yeah, I stayed at a lot of hotels. I checked into one hotel, and they had that window unit over there where you flip up the flap and you adjust your temperature. I flipped up one the other day. There was a note in there. It said, thermostat is on the wall.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this, a scavenger hunt in here? Don't do both technologies. You don't have a window unit and a thermostat.
Dusty Slay. For those of you in Nashville, he's going to be here. You can go to the website and find that he's going to be in Syracuse, leaving tomorrow. Are you playing tomorrow? Or
I'm going Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
They want me to come on up, maybe because of the weather. They're worried I might not make it.
And then you'll be back home for a one-off at Zany's, and then you're off to Seattle, Washington. Those are the most current dates that he has up that you can see him as you listen around the country, and perhaps you're watching on Circle Television.
And we heard from one of our Circle listeners in Fulton, New York, just 29 miles from Syracuse. He could be at the Dusty Slay Show. Could catch all 5 of them.
Go.
All right, come to all 5.
Yeah. And when are you back at the Opry?
February 25th. So I did 10 months in a row, and then I missed January. But that's okay. I'll be coming in hot. I did. I did 2 times at the Ryman, which was great. Actually, 4 shows, but that was fun. That was a good time.
So why do you hold up your hand and do that?
Well, I like to, wave. I like to that's how I let people know the joke's over. I like to wave like this at the end of a joke, just to let you know that joke's over. Sometimes you'll know because you'll be laughing. Other times I'll have to give you one of these.
Now, when you went into comedy, the look that we see when we see Dusty Slay, is that the look you were going for? Did you develop this look? Or?
It just evolved. People say that they're always looking for their brand. They're like, I'm trying to find my brand. And I just kept doing comedy, and then it just found me. Like, I had a bunch of hats like that. I had a West Point Pepperell hat, which is out of Georgia, which is where, a lot of my family worked. and I found an old trucker hat, and I started wearing it, and it felt like me. When I put it on, the hair needed to grow, and then I put the hat on. It just felt like me. I went on the local news in Montgomery, Alabama with that hat on, and it felt so fun, and I just wore it ever since. And then I got my own hat now, but says Dusty Slay, we're having a good time on it.
So what would that set me back at the merch table?
Well, if you buy it from me at the store live, I just sell it for $20. But online, it's $30 because I hate the post office.
I hear you. That's a great hat.
It's an extra $10 just to get me to go down there. Yeah, thank you.
So where did you grow up? What is your background in that way?
Well, I grew up in Alabama. I grew up in a trailer park, which wasn't that fun, so not sure why they call it a park. Like we had a good time, but it's really a misuse of the word park. There wasn't no rides in there, no water slides. We had like an occasional slip and slide or like an old tarp with some Dawn dish detergent on there. If you can't afford a slip and slide, you just pull it down off the lawnmower. And we put our slip and slide over a tree root one time because we was going to jump it. And that's not how that works at all. I hit that tree root, I just got up and got a job. I was like, I'm done playing out here. I'm done playing period. I got medical bills now. I don't know if you've ever hit a tree root going 70 miles an hour on your chest. With a smile on your face. But
I wanted to mention that Stand Up Nashville, we talk about our new TV home for radio, which is an interesting concept. People are now watching radio on television.
I know.
Yeah. You remember the Waltons? They just watched the radio because they didn't have television on Walton's Mountain yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people, they used to say that joke all the time, a face for radio, but no more. Now you got a face for TV.
Well, that's why we brought Joe Smith in on the show. But Stand Up Nashville is a show from Zanies, filmed at Zanies here in Nashville. And you've been a part of that. Dusty Slay, Aaron Weber, who was just in last week with us. Tammy Pescatelli, I think I got her last name right. Leanne Morgan, Henry Cho, Reno Collier on Stand Up.
All great.
Nashville.
All very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. I hosted one of those. Zanies is great. The Opry's great. All together. It's the best.
Well, thank you for making Coffee, Country, and Cody a little greater this morning just by being
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I heard him laughing so hard.
Me too. Every time. And again, late February, he'll be back at the Grand Ole Opry. And there's more at Opry.com. This is 650 AM WSM, Circle Television.
Thanks for listening to our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast. Our digital program director is Jay Patrick. Our digital producer is Haley Hall. Marketing and promotions director, Nicole A. Judd. General manager of 650 AM WSM is Chris Kulik. I'm Charlie Mattos. We'll see you next time on our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast.